Hello everybody, welcome back to yet another stream. I hope all of you are having a fantastic, beautiful day today. Hello, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. I'm excited for today's stream quite a bit. Hello Nathu, it is lovely to see you again. Whenever you are around, that is. It's always a little treat. It's always a nice little surprise. Hello, your ears perked up. Hello, hello. I also saw that we have Aleem in chat as well. Welcome. Hope everybody is having a nice little Sunday evening today. Hi. Hello, Naga. I am doing quite well. Hope you're doing quite well yourself. A little bit sleepy, having a little bit of a sleepy Sunday. I think that daylight savings, losing, whatever it is kicking my ass. And also, I haven't been gym going as of late. So my energy as a result might be a little bit shot. But anyways, hello, welcome. I'm pretty excited for today's stream. And this is something that I've actually wanted to do for a while. As the title of the stream suggests, we'll be doing a kimchi jigae. Yes! Can we see the new fancy knife? Oh, of course, in just a moment. You know what? Let's talk about the knife first. So my friends, I am now the proud owner, this might be the nicest knife I own, of the Kramer's Willing knife, the carbon steel one. Oh, there it is. There it is. Look at this bad boy. It's also pretty massive if you look at it compared to like the size of my head. It's pretty huge. I am not going to be coming to you a fan, unfortunately. But it is very beautiful, isn't it? Look at this knife. Look at this bad boy. It is huge. But I gotta say, this handle is super, super comfortable. Despite the size, you might be like, oh, that's a bulky, uncomfortable knife. Not at all. There's plenty of room for a pretty comfortable pinch grip up here. This fits into my hand really nicely. This is a really fucking nice knife, and I've wanted to own one for a while, and guess what? I own one now. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. So, good to see all of you today. I'm pretty happy. That was a good slap, wasn't it? My friends, we will be making a kimchi jigae today. Now, I have a bone to pick. I have something to say. I have a strong statement to say. You guys ready for this? This might be controversial. It might not be my place to say this. But there is no reason that kimchi jigae, a kimchi stew, should be sold for $20 at Korean restaurants. The entire point of this is Korean food to me is not very accessible because it is not particularly cheap, especially within New York. This is the kind of a dish that should be really simple. It has stock, it has, a little bit of kelp in it, it has tofu, it has kimchi. It doesn't have any luxurious ingredients. This is a very hearty, delicious stew, and it's one of my favorites. I love eating kimchi jjigae. I have no idea why, under any circumstance, this is sold for as much as it is at Korean restaurants, especially in New York. I am in New York, which definitely is a factor here. And so, this is what I am trying to do today. Is this something that I'm going to be able to recreate consistently at home of a reasonable quality? Is it going to be delicious? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be a better product, in fact? And will it be an eighth of the cost? Right? Does this mean you can get the other one sharpened? Yes, it does. That is why I own this knife now. Now I have a rotation of knives that I can switch between as needed. But yes, that is why I am doing today's stream. I love kimchi jjigae. It's delicious. All right, for those of you that are uninitiated, for those of you that don't know much about it, it is a stew that is based on kimchi. A bunch of fermented cabbage. It's going to have a little bit of gochujang, which is fermented chili paste. It's going to have some gochugaru, which are the chili flakes. It's going to be cooked down. I'm doing it in a chicken stock. Normally you would do like an anchovy stock, but I had some chicken and I want to do a chicken stock, and I'm going to fortify it with a little bit of kelp that I have back there. It's going to be delicious, and I'm going to have some pork belly, plenty of pork belly in fact. It's going to be a pretty incredible meal. That's right, Manchi live on twitch.tv. I did take a lot of inspiration from her for what I'm doing today. The only substitution I am making is the fact that I'm using chicken stock instead of anchovy stock. I feel like I'm pretty confident and comfortable to do that. So it's going to be good. I'm pretty excited about what it's going to taste like today. Is the music too loud? No, I think it should be fine. The music's not too loud, is it? Anchovy stock? No, it's not really potent. Fish stocks, they tend to be potent if people kind of overboil it and they don't do it correctly. Typically with fish stocks, you're not cooking them more than like 20, 30 minutes at a time. Pascal says hi. Hello, Pascal. Welcome. Well, I guess not to Pascal, but to you, to Jeeve. Hello. So, without further ado, we should kind of get started. You know what? Let's talk about the order of operations first. First, I already made a chicken stock ahead of time. we need to fortify this chicken stock. We're gonna throw in the scallion roudins, and we'll also be throwing in some of the kelp. And then the kelp, you don't wanna overcook it. You don't wanna cook it for more than 20 minutes at a time. You cook it for 20 minutes and then you pluck it out. Otherwise, you'll start getting like some really off flavors from the kelp, and it's gonna change the texture of the stock. Okay, so we're gonna make that. We gotta chop up some pork belly. We have to wash the rice. We have to chop up some kimchi. We have to chop up some scallions. We have to chop up some onion. And we'll just get cooking. It's gonna be a fairly short stream today. And then we'll also make some corn cheese, which is really, really delicious. It's kind of more of like a recent Korean dish, just because of like its westernization. That is basically cheese and corn, and it's baked together, and it's sweet, and it's delicious. Right? It's just a really good time. So let's get started, my friends. Let's get my keyboard out of the way. You guys don't need to see that. And look at my knife. Look at my knife. Look at my bad boy. And so this is a carbon steel knife. We are going to be wiping it every so often, right? Because you don't want to leave this thing wet. You don't want to leave it especially exposed to anything too acidic. First things first, let's look at the chicken stock. I'm going to add some oil. This was just some excess chicken stock I've had, right? Really, really beautiful, really simple stuff. Let's get some oil in there. Come in. Good boy. Okie dokie. So, all we need to do right now, we just need to pour in some chicken stock. And how much do I need for this recipe? I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Let's get a couple of scoops of this bad boy. This was all homemade, made it myself. It's still a little bit warm. And I think we'll do like one more of these and that should be fine. We'll see if we can reduce it at all. Okay, excellent. Next, these are the scallions that I will be using for today in a bunch of applications. And instead of just slicing off and throwing away the whites, all I'm going to do, I'm going to chop off the whites of the scallion. I'm going to chop off the root end, like so. And this is all going to go in. No, this is called an Epicurean cutting board. It is a composite wood, and it's really nice and sturdy, and they don't warp in the dishwasher. I think Epicurean cutting boards are ideal in a home environment, okay? So, that's a chicken stock. That's my scallion root. I'm going in just to flavor it, and we'll fish it out, of course. Let's wipe down my station really quickly, because I realized I splashed some chicken stock all over the place. Yes, Epicurean cutting boards are really, really nice. So, I'm going to explain to you why I love these in a home setting. They don't warp very easily. They're pretty dishwasher safe. They tend to be a little bit gentler on your knives than a lot of hardwoods. And if you're not using like a high soft plastic cutting board, to me this is the ideal one at home. I don't think butcher blocks are ideal in a home setting. I think the wood can be a little bit harsh on your knives. And they're big and they're heavy and they're difficult to clean, and then you have to condition it and polish it. This, I've had in my kitchen for maybe a decade at this point. It's a little bit warped now, yes, but that's what it's called. And I don't know if that refers to like the brand or like the type of wood that it is or something, but those are really, really nice. Okay, that's done. And now, my friends, we gotta open up this package of kelp. And so when you're doing like Japanese cooking, they tell you that you have to like brush off like the white stuff on the outside of the kelp. It's fine. You don't really have to do that. It'll be okay. You don't have to take like a damp cloth. I'm not totally sure why they do it. No, well, plastic ones are fine. It just depends on how hard they are. And they do tend to warp pretty easily. But the ideal one is what is called a high soft cutting board. That's what I really want to get. But they are a little bit tricky. Okay, I'm just going to slice open the package, make it a little bit easier for myself. Okay, and now let's get some kelp in here. And we don't need a crazy amount. We just need to break off, to my understanding, and I don't work with kelp too often. So this is a nice little learning experience for me. We only need a little bit. So we'll take this kelp, we're gonna tear off a piece, just about this big. And then we're gonna fish it out, okay? That's it, that's all that we need. So, once again guys, this is a very simple stock. It has the chicken stock that we made before, and we're fortifying it with the scallion root, and we're fortifying it with the kelp. And this has to cook for no more than 20 minutes. 20 minutes, we fish everything out. So, let's head to the stove. Boop, look at that. Is that kombu? Kombu is a type of kelp. Now, Well, actually, maybe that's just the Japanese word for kelp. I don't know. I don't know if that refers to a specific type of kelp. But I'm fairly certain that you could use kombu in this and it would be good. I'm pretty certain that you can just use regular kombu. This is a generic dried kelp. It doesn't have any other specifications. Okay, so that is done. And now, my friends, we have to think about everything that is going into the kimchi jjigae, and I have it set to 20 minutes. 20 minutes, we're going to fish everything out. Almost 2 years. Wow, what a feat. Nathu has been here for quite a while. Nathu has been here for the Smash streams and the Just Chatting streams. We've been on Twitch for a little bit, okay? But this is the peak. So thank you for being here all this time. It's very appreciated. Wait, did I have you as a mod before, or was that somebody else? Okay. So, let's think about what we need. For the kimchi jjigae itself, ingredient-wise, it's actually all pretty simple. We're gonna fry up the pork belly. We are going to just add in some onions. We're gonna add in some scallions as well. And it's going to cook inside of the kimchi and with the stock that we're about to make. While making a chipotle arbol salsa, yeah, chipotle is an arbol, some of my favorite chilies. Good luck with the kimchi jjigae. Why, thank you, Joy. Hope you're having a beautiful day today. Okay, let's just get started on prepping up the onion. Let's do the onion first. I love pork belly, and I never get an excuse to use it too often. Also, by the way, want to see my biggest flex? This is some beautiful pork belly that I picked up. My local store, $3 a pound. Wait, did I not update my stream name? I think I updated my stream name. Guys, can you let me know if I did that or not? Okay, look at this. You see this pork belly? $3 a pound. I bought this shit for $3 a pound. I bought 2.5 pounds of pork belly. And this is about half of that I'm using for today. Isn't that crazy? In the year 2023, getting this kind of a cut for that much money, it's the best. Makes life worth living, doesn't it? Stream name is good? Okay. Sweet. My bowls are finally clean this time, so I can use them the way I need to. Oh, I love this knife. I really do love this knife. Okay. In fact, we're just going to slice this to saute it. And I'll show you exactly what that looks like in just a moment. This is a really nice knife. Ooh, cold smoked mackerel. What is that eaten? That's like a very Eastern European thing or a very Spanish thing. Okay, let me keep my hands dry so I'm not getting my knife unnecessarily wet or anything. Okay, we're gonna cut off the good end. We have no use for it. Oh, guys, this knife is nice. This knife is very nice, in fact. Oh, it's so nice to have a sharp knife again, and I'm gonna get my other knife sharpened ASAP. Because now that I have this, I can use this on my streams. Thank you to somebody who really, really helped out. I don't know if they want to be named or not, but thank you. They really, really saved the day. So, here's all we're gonna do. We're just gonna, oh, I missed having a sharp knife. Don't just buy new knives if you need a sharp knife. Go get them sharpened. I just need a constant, rotation of knives because I'm doing this 3 times a week. We're doing full slices. We're not chopping, okay? We're using the full extent of the blade. We're just slicing all the way down, okay? Just like so. Whoa, it grabbed it. It took it away from me. Okay. Let me go ahead and grab my bench scraper that I always forget to do before I begin the stream because I'm a little bit silly. Yes, well, get it sharpened. If it's a shitty knife, get an electronic sharpener. If it's, well, you know what? Even learn how to use a whetstone. I should learn how to use a whetstone properly on a shitty knife. That's what I should do because I'm afraid of fucking up a nice one. But chef, getting old sharpened knives means we have to leave the house. That's right. I'm a big house leaving enjoyer. Yeah, this is actually pretty wonderful. This knife, that is a beast. I will say, I haven't worked with a Western style chef's knife in quite some time. I forgot how wide it is and how much surface there is for stuff to stick to it. Okay. Perfect. And we're gonna get all of our prep done. We're gonna get all of our prep done right now. So that's the onion. And now we have to think about the scallion. So we're gonna need some scallion for garnish. We're going to need some in the corn cheese and we're gonna need some in the jigae itself. So let's think about this now. Let's think about how much we want. I want 3 scallions or so chopped up. Still some scallion root over here. Boop. Excellent. Okay, let me think. I want 3 of these chopped up and going into the jigae itself. I want the rest of it to be garnish and going into the Quang cheese, right? So for the jigae, what I'm going to do is I want nice diagonal cuts like this. We don't want big pieces. I want big pieces. I want nice big pieces because I want to feel like I've got a scallion in my mouth, you know? That's what I want. Okay, just like that. Those are the kinds of pieces I want into the jigae. Let's go ahead and get that scooped over onto this plate. And the scallions I'm not going to saute because they might break down too much. So I'm only going to cook them when I add the liquid component of the jigae in. And holy shit, they've realized how fast we're moving through the stream. This might be an hour long. Oh well, let's see. Give me the scallion on my way. Which would suck. But I am trying some new things today, so we should take our time with that. Okay, next. Some of this needs to be garnish, and I'm going to use the greens for that. And some of it is going to get integrated into the Quang cheese itself. Boop. And boop. Lovely. So, thrift stores for pennies and one sharpened the epic bang for buck. I'm glad they're able to work out. Do you know what kind of like grade of steel that they use? So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and stack these up, and we're going to get a nice, super, super thin slice. Guys, use your claw. You're going to use your pinky and your thumb to hold your bunch of scallions together, and you're going to use your top knuckles to guide it down. But, you see the way I'm holding this? I want to be able to slide my fingers along. Just like so, without moving the stack, all right? That's how you want to move through this so that you can get a nice slice all the way through, all right? You don't want to hold this so tight that it's taking the bunch with you, because when you do it this lightly, you're able to just move your hand and continue guiding all of this. I forgot what it's like to cut scallions with a really sharp knife again. God bless. God bless. This is amazing. Okay. You can hear them. That's right. Okay, that's all these scallions. I'm going to just have my scallion plate. And these are going to be for garnishing. You know what? Fuck it. Some of the greens will also go into the Quang cheese. Scoop it up. Drop it onto the plate. Is this boiling yet? Is this going? It's going. So we're going to rehydrate the kelp and then we're going to pull it out. That's going to be lovely. It's going to be wonderful. Okay, next. As for these, we'll do the same thing. They are a little bit big, but that's fine. Going all the way through the scallions, my friends. The broth is going, the broth is cooking, and then we have plenty more stuff to prep up. We could also probably work on the filling for the Quang cheese as well. Just get all that squared away and done in advance. I should also, you know what? I think the next step, I'm going to wash the rice. I'm going to wash the rice. I'm going to get that done now. And then I'm just going to let that cook. Because that can always just like stay warm on the stove, right? That's not necessarily going to go too cold, but we'll see. Okay. That is all the scallion whites, my friends. Nicely sliced up. Let's get them out of here and onto the plate. Okay. Next. That's all done. The stock is going. Let me look behind me and see what else I need to chop up. The kimchi in the jar is already fairly chopped, so I don't think I have to do that. But what I am going to do is I think I'm going to measure out. I'm going to measure out the gochujang and gochugaru. Yes, I do cringe, because especially if you have nice knives, it's just gonna dull it. The only acceptable way, IMO, is if you have a cleaver, using like the front end of a cleaver because it's like flat, right? So I think that's like the only acceptable way to do so, IMO. Okay, so I'm just getting my ratios right. I had to do a little bit of referencing. What I'm gonna be doing is 1 tablespoon of the gochujang. In fact, you know, we don't even have to pre-measure that. I'm just gonna pre-measure the chili flakes. But yeah, only with like the front end of a cleaver, but otherwise, I just do bench scraper. Guys, it dulls the hell out of your knives. Even if you have really nice knives, I promise you, no matter how nice it is, it's not nice enough to avoid being dulled by being scraped against wood. Investing in a bench scraper is cheap. Ooh. And these, my friends, this is the gochugaru. These are the chili flakes, and they're quite spicy. And this is one of the fundamental flavors of Korean food. I'm gonna show you them right now. Korean food is based off of essentially 2 things. Korean food, well, in addition to, I'm going to count gochugaru and gochujang in like the same sentence here, but this is one of the bases of all Korean cooking. Right here. This, my friends, is gochujang. This is fermented chili paste. All right? And it is essential. It is in so many different Korean dishes. Countless. It is in basically everything. Okay? This goes everywhere. In addition to this, there is a Korean fermented soybean paste called doenjang. Right? So this is gochujang and there is a doenjang. And the doenjang is probably like, if you had to compare it to something, it would be like, you know, Chinese fermented like soybean or like miso. Right? And these two, the doenjang and the gochujang, well, in this case, also gochugaru, they are in so many different Korean dishes. Those are your pantry essentials. If you have those, you will have basically everything else that you need. Okay? So you get those out of the way, you get those done, and I promise you, you have like a world of opportunity that just like opens up to you. This is a lot of red pepper flake. The reason they're sold in these kinds of bags is because you're using it all the time. Fermented foods are huge in Korea, yes. And that applies to Asian cooking in general, specifically if we're talking about Chinese, we're talking about Japanese, and we're talking about Korean food, right? Chinese food, like you see fermented like bean paste everywhere, all over the place. And things like yatsai, right, which is the pickled mustard greens. Was going to buy one instead of randomly buying hot sauces since that lasts forever. Yeah, it does. Because it's a live, fermented, living, breathing product, right? Okay. The stock has about 8 more minutes on it, and then we'll pull it off. Now, here's what has to happen. We gotta slice up the corn. And so, this is a trick that I learned from the one and only Chef John on foodwishes.com. This is how I learned to slice corn, and I never looked back since, although I do need a slightly smaller bowl. Uh-oh. I'm trying to think what would be the best tool for this. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys right now. Here's what you do. This is the waste bowl, but it's okay. I didn't put anything besides like some onion scraps. I'm gonna quickly wipe this off. Here's what you do. You take a bowl, you invert another bowl on it, just like so, nice and stable at the bottom. All right, maybe even put a towel down on your cutting board, like so, just to keep the whole thing stable. And the best way, because the corn is gonna be still mixed up in this bowl anyways, you're going to put the corn on top, and then you're just going to shave down the sides. I'm gonna show you just how easy this is, all right? I'm gonna take my corn. I have 3 cobs of corn for today. Gonna make sure that it is as peeled as possible, although they didn't do that good of a job with it. Gonna have to wipe it off. So my friends, take a look. You take it, we're gonna get rid of the stringy bits as much as possible, the husk, and now you're going to stack it up like this, and all you're gonna do, you're gonna get as close to the cob itself and shave down the sides, and it naturally all falls into place. Just try your best not to hit the metal of the bowl because that is pretty awful for your knife. And just like that, you have an entire thing of corn that's been shucked for the most part. And you want to make sure you're not like milking it like too much. You don't want to like go down the sides because it's going to get a lot of unneeded moisture. All I'm doing though, I'm just plucking out any bits that I could have missed, like these. And that, my friends, is one corn that's been fully shucked. Okay? That is my favorite way to do it. I saw it in a Chef John video a long time ago, and I've never looked back for any and all corn dishes. Also, I love raw corn. It is pretty bad for your tummy, and there's always like the risk of like pathogens with it, but I love snacking on raw corn. So I wouldn't recommend doing that, but man, let me tell you, you know what's also my favorite? Roasted corn salads. You like char like the flesh of the corn itself a little bit. You get it nice and blackened. You get it nice and blackened, and it is just lovely. So, same exact idea. We're going down the whole corn, right? And then we're going to pick through any remaining bits of stringy husk left over, so don't you worry about that. Nice and efficient, and a nice sharp knife really does help with this task too. I do wonder if there's any better devices out there, but I'm also not cooking with corn nearly enough to justify buying a device to do something like this. So thus, the double bowl method does an incredible job every single time. Okay, sweet. That's 2. The broth has 4 more minutes on it, and then we'll pull it off the heat, and off it'll all go. Oof, they did not do a good job of skinning this, did they? They did not. Okay. Last one going on now. Yeah, I do like a nice blackened corn. I never understood just like straight boiled corn though. That was always like a little boring to me. But like when it's grilled, when it's charred, it's just so comforting and easy. But I love corn salads. I really think they benefit from like a dressing. You do like a nice creamy dressing, or maybe like a really nice and acidic one, right, with like lime juice and cilantro. Lime juice, cilantro, corn salads, those would be like a staple whenever I'd be in a region where there'd be like a lot of corn available. It's not something I eat often because corn in New York sucks, especially like this time of year. But it can be really, really delicious. Okay, my friends, take a look. Let's get the corn milk off this bowl. Let's pick that bad boy up. Come on, buddy, you got this. Be a good boy. Yeah, off it goes. Come on, off you go. And we'll go through this and we'll pick off any remaining bits of husk. I love kimchi jjigae. I love eating it, and this is my first time making it, so I hope to do it justice. I am doing it slightly a-traditionally by doing chicken stock. I don't know if people do it with chicken stock, but I felt like it would be appropriate because I'm still doing the kelp in there, so I'm not losing a lot of the flavor. And people would typically do this with anchovy stock. I haven't ever seen somebody do this with chicken stock, though. So a little bit a-traditional. I apologize for doing that for my first time. I just felt like it was appropriate. I felt like it was just to do so in this case. Okay. This is all the corn. We're gonna go pick through this in just a moment. This is almost done boiling away. Ooh, it is also burning my hand. In fact, we could probably pull it off now. Kimchi is something I'm still learning to make properly. I've never made kimchi. You know what? We should do that one of these other streams. We should try fermenting our own kimchi. Because store-bought kimchi is way too expensive for what it is. Way too expensive. Okay. I love corn. But it's also pretty good corn. Okay, not bad. Just getting all this off. Getting this behind me now. And now, my friends, we have about 2 minutes on the clock. I'm looking at the broth. I think that is cooked enough. I think we can get rid of the, I believe we can get rid of the kelp from it. So let's just go ahead and do that now. Head on over to the stove, my friends. Turn that off. Turn off the heat. And all I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna fish everything out of here. Grab some tongs. It all comes off. Out you go. Okay. And now let's get those scallions. And now, my friends, that is the fortified chicken stock. We've reduced it down a little bit, but that should be enough to make this like a portion of kimchi jjigae. Getting rid of all the scallion udons, of course. Smells wonderful, smells lovely. My knife looks milky. It is. I'm gonna wipe it off in just a second. I'm just organizing my station really quickly. And now that's done. We're gonna let the pot handles cool off. I'm going to put this down. And then we have to think about everything else going on. We have to wash the rice, we have to cook the rice, we have to make the corn cheese. I'm gonna wipe off my knife. We following along? Good. Good. I'm glad. Where's my paper towel? There it is. Lovely. I could actually probably just give this like a proper wash at this point, just to get like all the corn off, right? Because it's a little sticky, it's a little starchy. It does tend to do that. So give it one wash now, and then we'll get back into it. I'm trying to think, do I want any garlic in my cheese corn? It would be tasty, but I think I've decided against it for now. This knife is so sharp, I think that it cut off some of the bristles on my brush. It kind of sucks, but that's okay. I guess we'll live. We'll keep on moving. Oh my God. Is it already like developing like a very slight patina this little into using it? That's crazy. I'm like noticing already some brown spots developing. What? There's no way. That's fine. That's like normal for a carbon steel knife. It's impossible for a carbon steel knife to be like perfectly like, you know, without any rust. They call it a patina. There's really just no way. Wow, should I have been wiping this a little bit more often? I don't know. I've never had such a high carbon knife before. Your friend oils his knife. Yeah, I know some people that do like knife oil, a little bit of mineral oil. Interesting. I mean, if I did fuck it up, it's a tool. We'll fix it at some point or another. But there's really no way that it could have been ruined that quickly into using it. Maybe I should be doing the like slice it and wipe it immediately thing, because I know people do that as well. Oiling, people oil their knives after sharpening, and even that doesn't like do much. A lot of people have like said that doesn't really protect it as long as you just thoroughly dried it off after. Okay. So let's get to everything else. Hi. I think I should actually get ahead and wash my rice right now. We should do that right now. I'm gonna have you guys on my phone while I do so I'm not forgetting about y'all. I'm gonna be doing sushi rice today. I think this will be really nice with like a sticky short grain rice. And I'm going to be filling it up with sesame oil after it's cooked and sesame seeds. I just want to get the rice done and squared away right now, so I don't have to worry about it later. I'm using a little bit of sushi rice, my favorite brand of sushi rice. It's quite expensive, but it does make for some really delicious stuff. Okay, this one right here. And I'm going to put you guys on my phone as I wash it. And I'm going to be washing and agitating this until it's like just before clear. And I'm going to be doing a little bit more water than I usually do because I want something nice and sticky. Yeah, but this is getting like constantly like wet and being used again, right? So it doesn't like make sense to oil it, except for storage reasons, I suppose. So I'm taking all of you, that's right, that's you, with me on my phone. Okay, sweet. And I'm gonna go ahead and wash this rice. I'm gonna use a glove though, because my hand is prone to, of course, drying out. Eczemas like that. Nothing I can really do about it. Oh shit, that's a lot of rice. I don't mind though. I might have made too much rice, but that's okay. again, I'm not looking for perfectly clear because I want this rice to have a little bit of substance to it. I want it to have a little bit of... And I really like short grain rices. They're just my favorite. Does rice taste better when cooking in a pot or a rice cooker? And the answer is, they actually do slightly different things texture and taste-wise. The reason why rice done in like a pot tastes a little bit different is because some of the rice on the bottom is actually browning. It's browning slightly, and that is affecting the flavor of everything and making it slightly more aromatic. But in general, rice cookers, they tend to cook things a little bit more evenly, but with really good technique, you can get anything that you want done. Okay. Ooh, this is a lot of rice to wash. One last pass through, and then I'm going to be done with this process. Excellent. And then, once again, I'm just filling it just above the rice and a little bit extra on top. And that is going to make the perfect rice. I'm going to go ahead and get that over here. I'm going to set that on the heat. Let me show you. We need a sink cam so you can see like what, my mess of dirty dishes. Yeah, that's why we need a sink cam. It won't be too exciting, I promise. And again, the rice I'm just getting done out of the way now, so I don't have to worry about it later. Okay? Moving my stock away, because that's already all done and ready to go. And this, you guys don't need to see the cooking of the rice. You will be okay without. We just bring it to a boil, drop to a simmer, and let it cook for 15 minutes. And we're gonna mix it up with sesame oil and sesame seeds. Okay, now, to begin the kimchi jjigae itself, we have to start sauteing some of the pork belly. Are you winning, child? Yeah, I believe so. At the moment, I think I'm winning. So, let's talk about the pork belly. Let's get over here ASAP. All right. Yeah, look at this. The knife is already developed like in that short amount of time. I think I should be wiping it off more often, but we'll see. Pork belly. I have 3 beautiful hunks right here. I'm not talking about you guys. Sorry, that was too smooth. I'm ahead of my time. Gonna go ahead and grab these bad boys and throw them onto the board. All right. W. Liz, thanks. I appreciate it. So the only thing that we have to do, when you slice it up really thin, we also have to take out some of the bones because we have some bones here that we need to consider, okay? We have some bones and we don't want that, of course, going into the kimchi jjigae. We just want nice, straight meat. So getting rid of all of it. Actually, I did a fine job just like that. We're gonna try to waste a little bit less on the next pass through. And then, let's debone all of this, actually. We have the meat, going through all of it. And it feels like almost like short rib bones, which is interesting, even though this is just not at all close to it. Oh, that's just a whole little bit of bone there too. I see. Whole thing comes off. And then last one. And we're gonna stack them up and slice them. You can never have enough kitchen cloths, that's right. You can only have more. 1, and then 2. You know, kitchen cloths are essential. Okay. That should be that. We're gonna get rid of this chunk of fat because I don't need that. And all I'm going to do, and again, this is skin on, or should I take the skin off? I've never seen it with bones either. In fact, yeah, that might be a first for me. It might be closer to the rib section, which is interesting. I'm trying to think now. Do I want to keep the skin on for this? Especially because it's not going to get crispy. And I'm not feeling like this might be a skin on endeavor, but this might be already sliced in such a way that getting the skin off would be impossible. So I'm trying to think here. Do I want to do no skin? Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get the... we're not getting the skin off at this rate. No, it's just not happening. Or maybe we should. I think the skin might be too tough and chewy if I try to cook it straight up. Because this isn't going to be braised. This is just going to be sauteed. And then, yeah, you know what? We did a fine job. That's fine. That seems to get rid of it all. Normally, again, I would never waste pork skin like this. I would get it like really nice and crispy. But I don't think it would be good for this kimchi jjigae. Because again, this is not going to braise. It's not going to get super tender or anything. I think the skin has a risk of being a little bit too tough and chewy if I were to leave it on. So, going through all of it. That is just my guess at the moment. Normally, yes, crispy pork skin is to die for. To wash all of your kitchen cloths. Oh man, I should really get into as good of a routine as you. What is the regional accent from? I am from New York, but I also have a speech impediment, which is why I sound like that. Okay, getting all of the skin off, my friends. And again, this was a bit of a last minute decision. I wasn't planning on doing this. And then I realized, wait, this isn't going to cook nearly long enough for us to justify not doing so. And now we're going to stack them up as evenly as possible. Boop, on it goes. We're gonna get nice thin strips, okay? New York for the win, that's right. Also, welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a beautiful day today. So, my friends, nice thin strips. Made a little bit of an on-the-fly adjustment, but that's how cooking streams go. And this is a lot of pork belly, but guess what? I want a lot of pork belly in my kimchi jjigae. I think it'll be delicious. And I still have to figure out what I have to do with, I have like basically twice this amount in the freezer. I'm just freezing it. I don't know what to do with it yet. Beautiful cuts there. Thank you. But yeah, nice thin strips. We're going to saute it. We're going to brown it a little bit. And we're going to add the rest of the stuff in. What I am also going to do, I'm going to quickly wash off the knife and brush it off. Also, man, carbon steel just cuts so nice. I do have a lot of rice, a shit ton of rice. I don't know if you guys saw that amount of rice, but it's substantial. And the rice, again, it's gonna be really simple. I'm just gonna season it with sesame seeds and sesame oil once it's done. And I'm gonna take all of this meat, I'm gonna scoop it up. On here it goes. We're gonna get rid of this cutting board. I'm gonna wash up this knife as well. Yes, this is a really nice knife. It's also quite new. All right. The water is boiling. So, turn down the heat to low, and it's gonna cook for 15 minutes. And we're gonna mix it through with the sesame oil and stuff, and it'll be all done, and it's just gonna stay warm for us. Okay, I'm gonna get this into the dishwasher, because again, that's the beauty of an Epicurean cutting board. I'm gonna replace that with a different one, and I will take a second to wash off this knife that I have. Because we still have a couple of other things to do here. Okay. And this whole thing is going to take a pound of kimchi. It's quite a bit. Knife envy. Oh, I'm sorry to cause that. I'm sorry to inspire that in all of you. What can I say? Also, the music stopped as soon as I turned around, which I'm a little bit annoyed about, but that's okay. Just washing this off, getting all the schmeat off of it. We're going to need this for a couple of other things too. All right. Yeah, very, very rude of the music to stop as soon as I turn it around. Not crazy about that. But that's okay, my friends. The knife has been officially washed off, and now we have to thoroughly dry it off, right? Because it is carbon steel. Let's get that back on there. Lovely. Okay. I should also be preheating the oven simultaneously, but we'll see what we have to do. Ooh, this knife is reactive. I wonder if I'd didn't take care of it correctly already. I'll look into it. Okay, that's going. That's all done. The rice is going. We're about to saute the pork. The chicken stock is already made. We have the kimchi. We don't need to chop it up any further because it's already in fairly small pieces in the jar itself that it comes in. I'm gonna dump out my waste bowl. And I guess I can start preheating the oven. For the corn cheese, it's gonna be really simple. We're just gonna mix all the ingredients. We're gonna pack it and bake it for 10 minutes and then broil it. So I'm gonna have the oven preheating now, just so I can get that out of the way. Ugh. And this is something I'm gonna need, and you're gonna see why. So oven, 400 degrees. And on this tray right here, we're going to have the vessel for the corn cheese. God, I am tired of saying that. I've said that so many times already. Come here, buddy. Come here, pal. Here you go. I have these beautiful little containers. Okay? Right over here. I do have to get that. Oh no. Is it gonna fit? I think it's gonna fit if I put it into the corners. Yes, it will. I do have to get the towel off though. Come on, off you go, buddy. Sweet. That's already prepped. That's ready to go for when we need it. Now, I need to set this aside. I'm gonna work on the rest of the filling. And the filling is going to be just cheese that we're gonna shred up. There's gonna be some mayonnaise, which might sound a little bit odd, but it does help for the cheese to melt evenly, and it's pretty traditional in this. And mozzarella cheese. I'm trying to remember how much do I need, because I have it written down somewhere. I don't need that much mayonnaise, I think, for this. I have it written down somewhere. I know that I do for the fact. Sorry about the delay, guys. I should have been a little bit more prepared. But again, this is one of the simplest like little side dishes that you can do. And it's really, really quite delicious. Which is great. Because we are juggling quite a couple of new things today. Where is it? I found it. Okay, sweet. Hi, sorry about that. We're going to need in total about 4 ounces of mozzarella, which is, I'm trying to think, how much is this? This is a pound. Okay, we don't need that much cheese. Just a little bit to get us going. Let's slice this bad boy open. Is there a way to peel it open? There is a way to peel it open. Up you go. So this is 16 ounces. We just need a quarter of this, right? This is 4. And then this is 8. And oddly, in a way, also looks like the tofu, which is pretty funny. Okay, away this goes. We have no use for all of this cheese. In fact, I'm gonna bag that up in something fresh because this did kind of fall apart. And last steps are going to be grating the cheese. We're going to mix the corn in with the mayonnaise and the cheese and a little bit of butter. And the scallions. Season it up with some sugar, salt, and pepper. And then just going to go into the dish. It's going to be great. Away it goes. Talking about mayonnaise, me and my European friends realized a lot of people in the US are unaccustomed to use mayo on bread instead of butter. Well, yes. Yeah. Especially US sandwiches. Yep. I grew up with European sandwiches and European butter on my sandwiches. And I don't like mayonnaise on my sandwiches as a result. Okay, where is my cheese grater? Tell you what, come here, buddy. I'm gonna wipe this thing off though, in the meantime. Let's get that cheese off of it. Yes, mozzarella. And again, this is a fairly like post-westernization dish of Korea, right? Where like you're starting to see like a lot more milk products being used. And this is one of them. The inclusion of mayonnaise and mozzarella cheese. It's quite popular, especially at Korean barbecue places. So we're gonna grate up the cheese. Bit of effort, but we'll get it done. Mayo sandwich sounds rough. I mean, no, that's the standard spread used in American sandwiches. I like butter on them instead. Nice, softened butter, you can't go wrong. You really can't. But in this case, the mayonnaise, we're gonna cook it with the mayonnaise because it's not gonna cook. Don't worry about like the idea of cooking mayonnaise. It's gonna help the cheese melt evenly. Oof. You know what? I'm gonna dump this into the bowl now. I like grating my cheese horizontally so it all stays nice and contained. Ah, come on, buddy. And again, always freshly grated. Mayo fries. Mayo fries, though, that's a fairly French way to dip your fries. French people, they love dipping their fries in mayonnaise or mayonnaise-based sauces. Okay, almost done. And I'm just gonna get the mixture done right now. Come on, buddy. Let me see how much I can push this. You know what? I don't think we can push this any further. This is a little snack. Okay. That's all done. Let's get all this sorted away as well. Excellent. Best foods or what? Hellmann's? That is dependent on the coast, right? Okay. That's right. That is one of the many chef snacks that you can come across in a kitchen. And then I think we should also begin cooking the kimchi jjigae, but first I want to prepare the rest of the corn cheese mixture. So, I know again, it's going to look a little bit odd, but I promise you it's all going to work out at the end, okay? We will need some mayonnaise, my friends. Specifically, we'll need about half a cup or so. I don't know how much half a cup is, because I don't have a half cup measure. You know what? I'll do it anyways. The idea of spooning out half a cup of mayonnaise and then spreading it out into something else is annoying. But because I am a little bit new to this specific dish and making it at home, that's why I'm going to spoon it out like this. I hate doing that though. But yeah, on the East Coast it's Hellmann's, on the West Coast it is Best Foods, right? Something like that. So, mayonnaise, half a cup. How much does that look like? We'll find out. I never cook with mayonnaise. I'm gonna have some in my fridge and I'm not gonna know what to do with it, but that's fine. I just don't eat mayonnaise in a lot of things. It is gonna be nice for like a sauce at some point or another though, right? All right. It's quite a bit, it's a generous amount. I just wanted to approximate because I've never really measured out mayonnaise. I've never looked at some and was like, this is what half a cup of it looks like. And again, these can all be very like approximate like measurements, right? You don't have to be like too crazy with this kind of thing. Let's get the rest of it out. Okay, that's all done. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this back into the fridge. And then, half what? Half a what now? Oh my God. Yeah, I think it's a few tablespoons, but I'm not too sure. Jesus Christ, what a typo. It's a pretty funny one. You know, one day you're going to like slip in like an intentional typo, and I'm never gonna be able to know the difference. And you will always relish and enjoy that. I do love rye bread. I grew up with it, right? As I am Russian. That's what we ate a lot of. Okay, scallions, bunch of it going in. Lovely, perfect. In fact, we could probably just do all of that. You can't have too many scallions in something. You just really can't. Some of the greens as well. And now, we're going to do what? We're going to do a bunch of kosher salt. Season the whole thing really nicely. A couple big pinches. A bunch of black pepper going on as well. Where's my pepper grinder? Oh no, is this thing empty? I think I said that last time. We're getting the rest out of it. We're gonna get all the black pepper out of this thing. All right, we've gotten some. Shake it around, make sure I'm distributing all the kernels, all the little peppercorns. Okay? That should be fine. And then we will have to do a little bit of sugar. It is quite nice to balance it out with sugar. Normally, once again, I like to avoid cooking with sugar. In this case, I actually don't think it is optional. I think you have to use sugar in something like this. Put a couple spoons of sugar in here. That should be plenty. We don't need more than that. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that away into the cabinet. The oven is preheated. We're not gonna throw it in quite yet. We're just gonna let the oven chill out. I'm just gonna mix the whole thing together, okay? All the salt, all the sugar, all the mayonnaise, all the corn, all the cheese. We're gonna just have all of this get nice and homogeneous. Or as homogeneous as possible. And again, you don't want too much moisture, right? If you're using canned corn, the idea is you want to drain it out and dry it off. Fresh corn kernels will be, of course, the least wet that you can get. And this is all going to bake up really nicely in a little bit. At the moment, though, we are going to set it aside and work on everything else that we need to. Okay? Especially, we have to saute the pork belly. Okay, perfect. It does look good. All right, my friends, let's head to the stove. That's not the stove. That's the stove. Hello. So, in my pan here, we're going to go on a nice medium-high heat. We're going to start with a splash of oil. I'm just using peanut oil because I have plenty of it, and it is my favorite neutral oil to cook with. A splash. We don't need too much. Pork belly is going to be really nice and fatty. We're going to heat it up, get it nice and hot, and we're going to throw in, of course, the pork belly. And the rice is almost done. It's about a minute off. So the order of operations is as follows. We saute the pork. We're going to throw in the onions. We'll see if we can get any color in it. And then we are going to go in with the kimchi. We're going to go in with the stock that we've made. We're going to go in with the gochujang. We're going to go in with the gochujang. And we're going to let the whole thing cook for like 15 minutes or so. And it's going to be beautiful. Okay. And also some tofu as well. You can't go without tofu in something like this. In total, you know what? I should have actually maybe done that ahead of time. I should have already been starting the pork belly because this is going to take in total like 20 minutes to cook. But oh well, if we have some downtime, we have downtime. Also, Catman, thank you so much for the $15 dono. Really, really appreciate it. That was very sweet of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope you're having a beautiful day today. And guess what, my friends? The rice is also done. So we're going to pull it off the heat. I'm going to show you guys exactly how we season it now. Okay? Let's see, do I have a coaster? I still do not own a coaster. Is this going to split under the pressure? It might. Okay, towel it goes. Hello, my friends. Let's quickly cut back over here before we add the pork. This is the sushi rice that we just cooked up. Beautiful, gorgeous. And here's what we're gonna do. Nice generous amount of sesame oil. Another little bit, and then some sesame seeds, and then we're going to mix it all through as evenly as we can, okay? We'll do the other one. And I just wanted to soak up all the sesame seeds and sesame oil. It looks like a lot, but I also made a lot of rice. I'm going to show you what it looks like once we've mixed all of it in. So I'm going to get my handy dandy little teeny tiny wooden spoon, and we're going to take the rice, we're going to pick it up, and we're going to distribute all the sesame oil and all the toasted sesame seeds coming back inside. And it smells really wonderful and aromatic. Ah. And again, this is fairly a-traditional. This is not something that people typically do, but I think it's kind of delicious to do so. Also, hello, Scribblo. Hope you're having a beautiful day today. So, we're trying to get all the rice from the bottom evened up, incorporated. We're trying to get the sesame oil incorporated throughout as well. right? So we don't have like any hot spots that are like soaked in a bunch of oil and other parts that are completely dry. Ah, lovely. And this is what we're going to eat everything with once it sits and cools down a little bit. So you see how we have this pocket of white rice here? That tells us that nothing has been mixed through. And so mixing in the seeds is also going to be a nice indicator of how much the oil was mixed into. Let me taste that as it is, though. Lovely. So simple. But with the kimchi jjigae, it's going to be wonderful. Okay. That is just about done mixing. It's going to get the last of it incorporated. This bowl is a little bit too small for this operation, but that's okay. And now we're going to pack it nice and tight. Get all the rice back inside. Excellent. And put a lid on it. And that is done. Now that's just going to chill out until we're ready to eat. So it's nice that I got that done ahead of time and in advance. And it's one of those things that does sit well too, right? By the time we're done with everything. Okay. So guess what, my friends? The oil is nicely heated up. It's really, really hot. I love rice to death. In fact, the oil might be too hot, but that's totally fine because we're just trying to get some color on the pork belly. Right? Get that all down there, get it all incorporated, and now flatten it. So we're getting a nice, good color on the bottom, and we're going to try to render some of the fat on that pork. You'd think there's a production team? Why, thank you. I've had some help from friends, but this is a one-man job when I am live. Had some help with friends for like designing it, but thank you. I do appreciate that quite a bit. So we're just trying to develop a nice crust on this pork. Trying to get a bit of color going, so it's not just straight and boiled. No, I promise you, trust me, I made a rice on stream 1,000,000 times. You can do it in a saucepan. That I assure you. You are capable, you can do it. You can get it done. All right? It is ideal to me because especially like in a New York City home kitchen, I don't have a lot of space for a rice cooker, and I'm able to get incredible results every single time with my method. You just have to wash it a bunch. You have to make sure you're not putting in too much water, and I promise everything else just falls into place. Okay? I assure you. You would still prefer rice cooker? That's fair. That is ultimately up to you. And if you are making enough rice, then, you know, you are justified in getting one. All right, mixing up the pork now. And again, we're just trying to get some color going, whatever is possible. Beautiful. And smells pretty wonderful. Just cooking pork by itself. Pretty delicious. Am I a spicy enjoyer? Yes, I am. I eat quite a bit of spicy food. Okay. Good for making chicken rice. Yes, indeed. It is indeed. So this one was from my local Asian grocery store, and this is my favorite brand of sushi rice. This one, I'm pretty sure you can also just get online. It's quite expensive though, compared to other sushi rices. The Kohoho Rose, it's pretty delicious. I like it a lot. Okay, the pork is going, it's looking wonderful. And again, all of the ingredients that we'll be adding to this are gonna be pretty salty. So we don't have to worry too much about that. Just a little bit of salt gonna be added in at the stage, which is all the way back here. A little bit of salt. Again, not too crazy. And let's move this handle around just so I can get some better leverage on this whole thing, this whole operation. So it is boiling a little more than it is actually frying, which is okay. We'll see if we can develop any color here, but if not, that's totally fine too. And in a minute, we're gonna add the onions. Yeah, Uncle Roger recommends a lot of things too. But yes, no, generally speaking, I agree, rice cookers are good. If you have the space for it, then get one. I don't. And I make really good stovetop rice, so I have no use for it in my life. It's gonna be a little different. It's gonna be a little bit more meaty, of course, right? But I think it'll still be delicious. And that is what matters at the end of the day. I think it'll be totally fine. But it'll be slightly different. It'll be slightly different. I mean, what you're basically asking me is, I'm gonna ask this right back at you. It's going to taste like chicken stock and not anchovy stock. But the really important part was the kelp, right? That is what, in my mind, really, really influences it. It makes it something a little bit more authentic. And again, I'm not sure if people do make jigae with chicken stock. This might be something that people already do. Whether they do it or not, that is just my own addition. Okay? Perfect. Oh, that pork looks so good. It looks pretty wonderful. I might even steal a little piece to snack on in the meantime. Holy fuck, I love pork, dude. I think it just refers to a certain type of short grain rice, but yes. Oh, that is delicious. That is really, truly wonderful. Okay. Let's see if we can push any more color out of this thing. Oh yeah, that is now frying. That pork belly is going, my friends. And yeah, kimchi jjigae is all very quick because the stock is already made, and when you cut the pork so thin, it doesn't need to cook too long. It'll be nice and tender if you cut it small pieces. Ooh. Dude, this corn cheese, even by itself, even without baking it, does look pretty fantastic, I must say. It does look pretty wonderful. The only step that we are going to do really quick, if we head over here, we do have to grease up the dish that we'll be cooking this in. So all we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and take some butter. Even if it's cold, we'll just warm it up with our hands. Oh, I'm sorry. I do apologize. You are welcome to leave if you feel like you need to. Alright, let's get a little bit of butter. And all I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna grease up this dish with some of this butter. We might even cut off a slice of it to make my life a little easier. It's gonna help the bottom get nice and crispy, and also you can't go wrong with butter. Alright, just like so, my friends. Just rubbing it all around. And then we're gonna pack it in just a second, after we give the pork another stir. And we decide whether or not we add the onions now. Okay, plenty of butter on the bottom. You can't have too much butter, okay? That's one, and then this is gonna be two. Ooh, I can hear the pork popping. I'm gonna give it another stir just in case. So I can see that a lot of that fat has rendered out. It's looking excellent. We can push that a little bit more. Touch more, and then we'll add the onions. Okay. Nicely greased up. Looking great. We don't need that much butter, do we? I don't think so. I like butter. To snack on, the best. Can't go wrong. Okay. And then we'll fill it up, and then we'll have it chill out for a little bit on the dish itself. How often do I do pasta dishes? Almost never. I don't love doing pasta at home. And the reason for that is because I don't think pasta is something that reheats well. And you're always like, okay, am I doing a baked pasta or am I doing like a frittata after? So it's to me not an ideal home dish. I do like doing spätzle instead, and I've been doing that a lot more lately. Okay, pork is nicely fried now. Guys, look at that color. It looks wonderful. Now we'll go in with the onions, and the onions, I don't care about getting too much color on them or anything. That's not my concern at the moment. We're just going to mix all of this in, all of this through. You know what? Yeah, I'm not worried about getting color on the onions. I'm not really looking to build that kind of flavor here. I just want to see if I can get them softened, because we're not going to get that much caramelization in a pot like this. We could just go in with the rest of the ingredients, which is going to be an entire pound of kimchi. It's going to be the stock. It's going to be delicious. Okay. Let's do the kimchi. So my friends, an entire pound of kimchi needs to go into this operation, okay? An entire pound, be generous. This is 13 ounces according to the can, and then I have a little bit more that's in here. Just a little bit more. That should be enough. 1 pound of kimchi for this recipe. It is a kimchi stew after all, so you're gonna need a lot of it. Oh, perfect. Look at it go. Mix it all the way through. And now, we'll go in with the stock that we made, that we prepared earlier. Excellent. And everything here is going to cook down. It's going to wilt down. So all that we do, we bring this to a boil, and we cook it for 10 minutes. I did eat the butter chunks. I did do that. If you've never had kimchi, you're missing out. It is wonderful. It's fermented. It's delicious. It is one of my favorite things to snack on. Okay, that, my friends, is the base. But the last thing that we have to do is going to be adding the gochujang and the gochugaru. And so, the gochujang, we are going to need about a tablespoon. Going in now. Be generous, but also be careful not to use too much because it can get quite spicy quite fast. Come on, buddy, off you go. And we don't have to worry about mixing it in. It's going to be quite difficult to mix in now because we don't have any of like the pieces cooked down at all, right? So let me just dunk it in so I can get like some of it scooped off the spoon so I'm not wasting any, or at least avoiding it. Okay. And then the red pepper flakes. And this has to boil for 10 minutes, and then we add the rest of it. And we mix it in later because, again, the onions are all in like really big pieces right now. It's going to be quite difficult for us to properly do that at the stage. Let them wilt, and your life is going to get a lot easier after. We don't have any use for the tongs anymore either, so I'm getting rid of that now. I'm going to grab a spoon for later, and then we hit it with a lid. Bring it to boil, and we cook it for 10 minutes. No, I don't think it's that acquired of a taste. I love kimchi. I think it's quite delicious. And it already smells fairly wonderful. Lid on. Excellent. Kitchen timer, 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, we mix it all in, and we add the tofu. Okay, let's get back to this. So, in here, we're going to pack all of this, and after the initial 10 minutes, that's when we'll throw this into the oven, because then I'll get cooked at around the same time. So this is our corn cheese, the mayonnaise, the scallions, the salt, a little bit of sugar. We're gonna pack it in. These dishes might have actually been too big. I think I would have been able to squeeze all of them into one just fine. But country girls make do. I think we'll figure it out. Yeah, I should have done just one dish. But now that we're already here, we may as well just use both. Let's get it all packed in there. And this has been a fairly easy stream. This is a fairly like accessible thing to make, isn't it? It's my first time doing kimchi jjigae, and it's going quite well. I'm really excited to eat it today. Okay. Corn packed nice and tight. Yeah, these are quite underfilled. Honestly, I might just repack it all into one and then be okay with the dirty dish that I've created. So let's do that now. Let's get all that out. I made an extra dish, but so be it. I'd much rather just have like one properly filled container than like two somewhat shallow ones, right? Okay. Get as much of it as humanly possible out. I'm going to soak this in water so this doesn't dry up. And then I'm just going to get a spatula for this, so I'm not scraping it with a spoon, because these don't like metal tools too much. Let's get all of this incorporated here instead. We're going to pack it up. Yeah, that looks a lot nicer. And the reason I like doing this on a sheet tray is because it's a lot easier to pick up a sheet tray than it is to pick up this hot out of the oven. It's a really huge comfort thing. Okay, packed in there. Very nice. Let's spread it out one more time. And this is going to go in the oven once we're done with the initial 10 minutes of boiling. Okay? Great. Happy to hear it. I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. Now we have to chop up the tofu. Do I need this bowl for anything? I don't think so. No, I will not. I'm also going to get rid of this jar really quickly while I have a second. Just cleaning up my station as I go always. I want to taste my rice because I'm a little bit impatient, is really the main reason here. This is still not brought up to a boil yet, is it? The answer is not quite, but it will be. It's getting there. The onions are cooking down, and then it'll be so much easier to mix it all in. And smells pretty wonderful. It smells like kimchi. It smells like the gochujang. Okay. So this is just about ready to go. Last step is going to be cutting up the tofu. And we need half a pound of tofu for today. But first, I want to have a taste of my rice. Hey guys, with the sesame seeds, it's pretty delicious. More rewarding and turbulent when you know you're cooking for someone else? Yes. Yeah, I like cooking for others. I just have to do it in my own environment. I like doing it in my own kitchen. I do struggle with it doing it in somebody else's. So, here's what we do, my friends. We open up the tofu. We only need half of this package. So, we'll try our best to do that. Ugh, it's not opening. But yeah, I do not like cooking in others' kitchens too much. It's not my space, and they don't have the tools that I've curated over time through my own cooking journey. So I always find it quite unpleasant to do so. Even if I am cooking for somebody else, as nice as that is, it can suck. Oh man, this does not want to open, does it? Okay, we're gonna have to do this the other way. Surely, if I go harder, it'll open, won't it? Yeah, there we go. Kind of. Ooh, this is a firm seal. Holy shit. Okay. What's going on here? No, this is firm tofu. There is a version that uses either soft or silken. I forgot. But in this case, I want nice firm pieces. Okay, I'm pulling this out of the sink, so it doesn't just go on my cutting board instead. Come on, buddy. Off you go. I don't get a chance to cook with tofu too often, so this is also a very nice treat for me. But this is firm tofu. Okay, let's try this again now that I've squeezed all the water out and I don't have to worry about that being a factor. I really want to keep the lid on this intact so I can just easily close it back up after. Silken is worse. They're different. They're different. No one is like worse than another. Okay, this is not done. This is not going to work out. We're going to have to just commit to the bitter ready. Off it all goes. Oh well. Such is life. Okay. We need half of this package. So, let's go ahead and, well, you know what? It'll be nice like this. Let's cut it all off now. It'll keep longer, yes. That's why I'm trying to keep it all in the same package, right? I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this bad boy. Come on, buddy, up you go. And we are just going to throw this onto the cutting board. Boop. And this, I'm gonna have to put away in a little bit. Wash my paws off, wash my hands. Oh yeah, the stew is boiling. That is cooking. Excellent, it looks really good. Okay, and now as we're slicing it, we won't even have to use a knife, the nice one for this. All you want to do is just get some nice, even, beautiful, straight slices down, just like so. Because it's going to look really pretty like this. Maybe I should have done it thicker, but this will do just fine. Lovely. Oop. And this is my gorgeous tofu. Ready to go. Look at it go. And that's gonna go into the pot after the next 3 minutes. We're gonna give everything a nice little stir as well in the meantime. So let's head over. This still has not cooked for the entirety of the 10 minutes yet. We'll just give it a little stir, a little spin. Ah, beautiful. And now let's see if the onions have cooked down enough, and they have. So we can mix in the paste. And also my hands are getting quite dry from the heat, so I'm gonna put on a glove for this. On it goes. Is that a New York accent? It sure is. Okay. And we're just gonna mix all of this around as much as possible. Again, I wanna distribute all the gochujang, all the gochujang. I feel like the color is a little bit light, but we'll see. I'm used to this being a little bit more of a dark red, and I wonder why that's the case. Get all the paste mixed in there. And up and around it goes. Beautiful. Let's have a little sip. Let's taste how this broth is coming along. Oh, it does look lovely, doesn't it? It's nice and rustic. Beautiful. All right. It is quite flavorful. Oh, and it is spicy too. Nice. That's quite delicious. But I do feel like the color is light, and I'm wondering if I should put in some more gochujang. Because I'm used to like seeing like a really deep, deep red out of these. Yeah, that is like the classic Japanese like kitchen mom thing to do, right? You just chop it up in your hand like that. And I use even firmer tofu for miso soup. It is quite spicy as it is. I think I'm just going to try and reduce it and trust the process. I think that's what I'm just gonna do instead. We're gonna trust guys, we're gonna trust the process. Come on, onion, slide off. Or maybe not. That is pretty delicious. Okay, it'll be fine. We'll trust the process. Extra spicy? Oh, fine. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how I feel in a second. So, first step, my friends. We have these big pieces of scallion. We're gonna chuck them in now. These bad boys, we just didn't want them to overcook before. We're gonna stir those in, and then we'll add the tofu on top and we'll basically let it steam. Okay? This is all getting mixed in. The kimchi jjigae does look pretty beautiful. Full of kimchi and onions and scallions. And of course the pork belly. Okay? And now the tofu is just going directly on top, and we won't really mix it in. Because the tofu can be quite fragile and does look really pretty. As I saw Mangchi do it, this was my inspiration for today. We just saw it and we just saw her tuck it in just like so. Although she had a much better cooking vessel, something that was a lot better suited for the job than this is. Okay, and then we're just gonna spoon all of this, oh, maybe not the cabbage. We're just gonna try to spoon all the cooking liquid over the top, press it all in. We're gonna let this cook for another 15 minutes or so, 10 minutes, and it'll do nicely. Okay, really nice. 10 minutes. Beautiful. Yeah, that's what she basically does, right? It's pretty cute. And again, I don't cook with tofu too often, so this is a very nice experience for me. It's a nice little treat. It's giving me a lot of appreciation for it. It's such a simple product, isn't it? Okay, I'm gonna clean off my station because we don't need anything here anymore. And also, guys, I forgot. We need to throw the Quang cheese into the oven. This is going to take 10 minutes at this temperature. We just throw it in right now. And then we're going to finish it for 2 minutes under the broiler as well. So we're timing everything together. And we of course have the scallions left to garnish the top. I'm taking a second to clean off my station, and everything is gonna be ready to go really soon. I have a feeling I should take the lid off just so it could reduce, but I would be running the risk of undercooking like the top of the tofu. So, still debating on what to do in that regard in my head. Okay, getting all my dishes done now so I don't have to worry about them later for alligator. And back, how's stuff going? Whoa, I thought you had to do stuff tomorrow. What's going on? You're breaking some rules over here, bud. Stuff is going pretty excellent. I'm really excited to eat soon. I guess I'm also just gonna get the plates out now that I'll be serving everything in. This will be for the rice. This is gonna be for my sides. I think Munchie's from New York. Really? Or are you just talking about me? Okay. Actually, I don't need my waste bowl anymore either. This is all done with. And guys, remember, cleaning as you go is the most essential thing that you could possibly do. You have to see the meal? Well, it's gonna be ready in 10 or 9 minutes, actually. So you did come at a pretty good time. Soon, I promise, soon. No, the actual Munchie? I see. Okay. How's my knife doing? I should probably wash this up one more time because I can put this thing away now. I already got my plates ready to go. And this was a really short stream today. I was not I kind of was expecting that. That's on me, my friends. So I do apologize. Let's wash my knife off one last time. Off it all goes. Okay. The adjustable lid is sick. I mean, I just like doing that ajar, right? I just like cracking it open a little bit so we can allow some of it to steam away instead of all of it just being trapped inside. Ooh, I think I should have put the green onion in later. It might get kind of overcooked by now, but that's okay. We'll live. I think we'll live. The soup does look pretty gorgeous, my friends. You want to go to a little stew? You guys want to see how it's going? I'll show you how it's going. I think I cleaned off my knife. Quite well, at least. Okay. Let's have a look on how this is going. Oh, that looks beautiful. I think I'm gonna have this uncovered so it has the chance to reduce a little bit in these next 7 minutes. Just keeping spooning this over the tofu. Oh, gorgeous. I'm pretty excited to eat all that. If you give it a little smell, oh, wonderful. That is exactly what I'm going for. My favorite dish? Okay, normally I give a very complicated answer, but I'm gonna give you a brief one, and that's gonna be probably rice and beans. And guys, I do have 7 minutes to kill, so if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, this is a good time to throw them at me. I'm also gonna take a little peek at the corn cheese. It's looking great, it's coming along nicely. It's just baking really, really gently. And then we're gonna pop it under the broiler to get a nice caramelized top. And the rice has already been long done. It's been sitting, it's been chilling out. It looks beautiful. I'm gonna have that little taste. Excellent. Normally, I would do like a sesame oil on top of it. On top of the actual stew itself. But I think I'm going to abstain from doing so because I have a sesame rice. Right? It does look lovely, doesn't it? I think it looks really delicious. Ugh. Yeah, and I think, you know what? We won't be stirring the tofu in at all. We'll just be spooning the stuff over because this is the like most fragile component that has the chance to break, right? We're just spraying it apart nicely, getting the stuff off the top of it. But, oh, dude, this stew looks amazing. I do wonder how much of a difference the kelp actually made. Because when we have like so many like deep, heavy flavors that went into this, right? Like the pork belly, the chicken stock itself, the kimchi, the gochujang. You're not a huge corn fan? You've asked me a pretty complicated question here. Because it's like, the reason why corn works is because it's tasty when it's crunchy. I mean, if you're doing anything else like this, you'd have to slightly modify it. And corn works because of the fact that it doesn't really release its moisture too much when cooking. It would, yeah, sure, it adds umami and meatiness, but what I'm saying is because I did this with the chicken stock, and I did this with the pork belly, and you have a lot of strong flavors, I'm not sure how much of an effect it actually has. And something like miso soup, kombu, is really pronounced because it's just bonito and the miso, and then some like tofu and stuff as well, right? So it's really, really simple there. But this is a little bit more involved, and you have a lot of strong flavors, so I don't know. So, as for substitutions for corn, when you're making a corn cheese, you want to think about vegetables that don't release a lot of water, or you have to pre-cook something, and then mix it through everything. Like, let's say if you did a potato, if you did potato cheese or something, you would need to boil your potato in advance. Maybe cook it with some vinegar, cook it with like some, vinegar to keep it like really firm. If you cook it with some acidity, it helps to hold its shape a little bit better, right? Green peas, they would get soft really, really quickly and they would release a bunch of water. So I think if you want to do something, you would need something starchy. I would do like a potato, I would boil it, I would steam dry it. Yeah. The only thing that really comes to mind would be something like green beans. Green beans is the only thing that I can really think of at the moment that would do something like that. Also, I did want to ask, last time I had some quality issues with the stovetop camera. Does that look okay now? Pumpkin, you would need to roast it. You roast it first and then it would be really nice actually, probably. Something starchy would be good. Something starchy, even if it's not crunchy. Nothing is going to have that taste of corn other than corn. So you just have to think about moisture management. And then it's just going to taste like that vegetable with cheese and sugar. It'll be really tasty no matter what you do. Guys, this stew, it looks pretty wonderful. Just keep spooning over the top here. Oh, I want to try some of the pork. That's what I want to do. I love pork belly. This is so simple, and it's so delicious too. Let's see if we can turn up the heat just to continue to evaporate the whole thing. Continue to evaporate the whole deal. And I think we can actually probably hop off the spoon now. We have no more use for it. We can just go ladle mode. We have nothing else that we need to really stir in because we're not going to stir in the tofu. We're going to be really gentle with the whole thing. And spoon over the hot cooking liquid. Lovely. Yeah, I think the tofu would break up if you were to stir this in aggressively. Hence why we're keeping it on the top like this. Okay? And now this has, the corn cheese has 1 more minute to cook, and then we're going to put it under the broiler to get some final color. And I'm going to go ahead and sip this. We're going to give this a little taste. Do I have a background in cooking, or is this a hobby thing? I grew up cooking for a very long time. I've been self-taught. And so I would like for this to be my job. I would like to do cooking streams and teach people how to cook as my job. Oh. That is so good. Holy shit. Dude, that is so good. Do you understand how delicious that is? There is no reason that this can be so expensive at restaurants. This is so cheap. This is pork belly. This is kimchi, right? This is gochujang. This is gochugaru. These are all really, really cheap ingredients that went in here, and this made a bunch of portions. The fact that this costs so much in restaurants is absurd, but man, that is delicious. That is incredible. Okay, my friends, final step. The timer went off. We just have to get some final color on the corn cheese because it's baked, it's cooked up now. And now we do the finishing touches. It looks pretty good now, but we have to do the final step, my friends. I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like in just a moment. So, boiling on, and on it goes. We're going to get the top bubbly and delicious. This I'm going to set aside. This pot I'm going to throw into the dishwasher because I have a second. I have a moment. Oh, I'm excited to eat. I have been craving good Korean food, and there's no good Korean food in my area. There is no Korean food, period, in my area. And so, that's what this is for me today. This is a test to see, can I do this at home? Can I recreate this experience at home? And in a way that is significantly more affordable. And if so, then Korean food will become a staple of my household. I love Korean food, I love it. But it is, compared to like all the other cuisines that you can go out to eat, it is so expensive. It is so expensive, at least in New York. Like really simple dishes like this average around like $20. It's absurd conceptually. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. But the cheese currently, we're bubbling it away. We're getting it nice and crispy and caramelized on the top. This is going. This is looking beautiful. Oh, excellent. All the pork belly, all the kimchi, all the scallion in there, the tofu. It's really, really simple food, but it's delicious food is what it is. Okay, let's see. Is that enough color yet? Not quite. We're going to give it a little rotation. I'm just going to give that a rotation, and we're going to pop it back in until it's developed sufficient color for us. Okay? It is insane. It is insane. New York prices are crazy, but Korean food on top of that. I guess like K-Town is a very like expensive area, but even like in New Jersey and stuff, I've seen like just such ridiculous prices for things. Okay. Oh, guys, this looks so good. Just spooning it all over the top. All that beautiful tofu. Let's get all the solids off the top, though. Oh, excellent. I'm going to plate up the rice in the meantime. But yes, my area is really, really reasonable. But there is just no Korean food in my area, and thus I have to go out of my way. I say, like, go into Koreatown. Ooh, shit, that's a really hot pan. I'm going to just spoon my sesame rice into my bowl preemptively, because we're going to be eating really soon, okay? Ah, excellent. Come on, buddy, on you go. And again, I'm not doing sesame oil inside of the stew itself, even though that's traditional, because I have so much sesame flavor coming from the sesame rice. Right? So we're compensating. We're being smart about it. That's hot, but that's okay. We make sacrifices all the time. And now, let's go ahead and see. Ooh, lovely. Almost done, my friends. A little bit more, we'll push it. And then we'll pull that corn out. It's gonna be incredible. That is going to be boiling hot. There is no way I'm going to be able to reasonably eat this at all. So I'm going to shut off the heat. I think it's all cooked down enough. We're going to plate that up in just a second. Actually, we'll just plate it up now. I'm going to make it look really nice and pretty. So, my friends, you guys ready for this? You guys ready? I don't think you're ready. I want you to be ready. Let's get through, guys. We'll keep it in the shot for a second. So, this is my rice. And here is going to be my stew. So first we're going to scoop from the bottom. We're going to get some of the solids. We're going to get some of the beautiful pork, some of the broth, and then we're going to get a couple of those slices of tofu on top as well. Excellent. Look at that. And this has to come out now. Oh, guys, let me show you this. Let me show you what this looks like. Come back to the stove. I'm gonna show you guys what this looks like right now. Ready? Sizzling, nice and smoky, a little bit charred on the top. That is a perfect looking corn cheese. Ooh. I really should let that cool for a few minutes, but I don't care. Look at that. Here, let me get you guys a better view on that. Let me give you guys a better look. This is all very visually stunning, and it was all really easy too. You guys see that? Ah, excellent. Whew. Nice and charred on the top. It looks amazing. And now, my friends, we're gonna go ahead and scoop some into a bowl. Let's get that on a plate. God, I'm so happy. I have not had good Korean food in a while, and this is gonna do it for me. Actually, I could have used that spoon for this, but that's okay. I'm gonna just grab a new one instead. Ooh, it is sizzling. And it is really rich. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a nice... How do I even scoop this ideally? Oh, come on, buddy. On you go. All the melted mozzarella. Excellent. On you go. There is no easy way to do this. I'm just gonna save it from hitting the bottom. And this is really rich, so I don't think I want to do too much more than this, but I am excited to try some. This is one of my favorite sides. And I'd never get to eat it. It's so cheesy. All right, my friends, I believe this is it. Here it is. Man, this was a really short stream. I'm really sorry. I apologize, guys. I'd like to do better normally, but I guess we can now just talk about everything that I made. And then I'm gonna serve my mom after this, is what I'm gonna do. All right, my friends, this is it. This is the ultimate feast. But first, we have to do the final touch. Actually, we're gonna switch this around. We're gonna do it like this. Haha, how's that? And get that over here instead. Get that into the center frame. Because that is the start of the show after all, isn't it? Spin those guys around. Okay, beautiful. And now, fresh scallion on top, and fresh scallion on the corn cheese as well. My friends, this is it. This is our beautiful meal. I'm very happy that we made all of this. I think I did a pretty good job. Let's talk about everything that we just made today. This was all really, really quick too. This was all really easy. First step, we have, of course, the beautiful kimchi jigae. Right, so we started with the chicken stock that we made, not an anchovy stock. We went a little bit a-traditional. We fortified the homemade chicken stock with some kelp and some scallion roots. And then we sauteed a bunch of pork belly. We sauteed some onions. We threw in a pound of kimchi. We threw in some gochujang. We threw in some gochujang. We poured in that homemade stock. We let it all cook, and then we added some scallions, and we added the tofu. And then we finished it with even more scallions on top. And then I have a sesame rice here with it. I've abstained from putting sesame oil because we have plenty of sesame flavor right here, filled with sesame oil and sesame seeds. And then over here, I have some corn cheese, charred and beautiful, filled with mozzarella cheese, just like your classic KBBQ side, because I was craving it, and it was really simple and easy to make. And this, my friends, is my feast. This is what we'll be eating today. Everything here made from scratch. I'm very, very happy about this. We need a scallion emote. I do cook with scallions all the time, don't I? I feel like that would be pretty appropriate. Let's have a little sip of the stew now that it's reduced. Oh, look at the texture on that. Oh, that is lovely. Let's get that in a spoonful with some of the rice. Oh, that is so good. That is excellent. And then some of the corn cheese, which is really rich. I don't think I should have gotten myself such a big portion. You'd be surprised the amount of flavor this can have. The corn is still like nice and crunchy. Phenomenal texture, filled with cheese, filled with scallions. Slight smokiness on the top because we charred it and we got some color. That is so good. Oh my God. That's lovely. Some more of the rice. accidentally just swatted some away. And of course the stew. Let's have a nice little bit of tofu this time with everything. Tofu is so nice. It is really, really delicious. This is so easy and simple and accessible. I'm very proud of this outcome. Pork belly and the kimchi now. Let's have this over the rice. Dude, that is so good. I have no issues with this. Dude, I'm telling you, the corn cheese is so comforting. That's why I'm eating it over the rice. So if anything spills, it doesn't into the bowl. Dude, it is delicious. Not at all. I'm a little sad it didn't take too long because that means we'll be in and out of here in so shortly. I don't like doing just 2-hour streams and then I'm gone. So I am sorry about that, guys. Okay, let's have some like this. I did it. I did exactly what I wanted. I got delicious Korean food at home for an extremely affordable price. That's all I wanted to do. The thing, guys, I'm telling you, going out to eat for Korean food in New York is so expensive. And this is home food. This is the kind of thing that is so easy to make at home. You saw we just chopped stuff up, we threw it together. Oh, man, that is delicious. So, in total, the spice is making my nose run. I spent $30 on ingredients, but I need you to consider, I have all this kelp that I didn't use today. I have a big thing of gochujang. I have a big thing of gochujang that I didn't use the majority of. I only used a spoonful of each. And almost all of that, like really, really expensive stuff, was the pork belly, right? And the pork belly, I have long gotten rid of. The pork belly, I use only half of it, and the other half I'm gonna use for something else, because I had to buy 2.5 pounds of pork belly. So in total, I spent $30 today. But those $30, they're gonna go into a lot of other places, and that's about 4 portions. That stew, that's 4 healthy, big portions of stew. Dude, the tofu? This is the kind of a thing that you put in your fridge and it reheats well. This is an ideal home food. I really think this is an ideal home dish. Maybe not the tofu. Maybe that's like the part that you only want to cook up a little bit at a time. But this is ideal for the home because it reheats well. To me, the ideal home food is something that reheats well, or it repurposes well, and it stays delicious even if it's not served immediately. Because that's why I don't do burgers at home. You have to cook it and then serve it, and then within like 10 minutes, it's already like cold and inedible, and then you can't cook it again, because then it will be overcooked. And so, everything I'm doing at home, I'm trying to teach you guys how to make food that is optimized for the home setting. This is one of those things. Everything that I made here today was easy, was pretty convenient, fairly cheap ingredients. The most expensive thing was the pork belly. So delicious. And I got a lot out of it. Guys, this is so good. That was so easy. I'm so annoyed. Okay, I'm doing this all the time at home now. Incredible. Yes, fries especially. I have to open up a restaurant. I don't think I'm too qualified to sell Korean food, but what I want to show you guys, is the food that is convenient and easy to make at home. And this was cheap, it was convenient, it was easy, it was packed full of flavor. You just have to understand your ingredients and why you're doing what you do. This is pretty remarkable. This is something, if there is anything that I would encourage you guys to make at home, it would be this. You don't have to follow what I did because this isn't a recipe, this is a technique showcase. You can follow Mangchi and what she did. Wow. This is ideal. Guys, I'm telling you. This tastes so special. It is so full of flavor. I can't believe I never made Jigae at home before. I really can't. I'm thinking about all my wasted years of never doing this. Whoa. This is incredible stuff. I'm really excited to have more of this. Damn. And now we take the rice and we throw it in here, and it's going to take care of everything else that's left over. Okay. I'm very happy with this. I'm happy with how this went. I'm sorry that this was such a short stream. But, guys, final questions, comments, concerns? Anything that you want to say to me? Wednesday, we might do like a Thanksgiving stream. I don't know. We'll see how I feel about it. I might just make stuff I normally do. I'm going to see who else is streaming in the meantime. But yeah, anything you guys want to say to me? This is the time to do so. Oh, I see Rose is streaming. That's what we'll do. Ugh. Thanks for sharing. I dig your streams. Why, thank you, Brooke. Thank you for stopping by. Your presence is really appreciated. Bon appetit. The appetit was already bon. I already had my lovely meal, but thank you. I'm gonna have just another bowl later on. I think that's just what I'm gonna do. Thank you for doing what you do. I love your cooking streams since I share the passion. Well, thank you. It's very, very sweet of you. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. We're gonna go ahead and do what we usually do, which is just Red Rose. Red Rose _waltz. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your Sunday evening. Take care. I'll see you guys Wednesday, 6 p.m., same time. Thank you. I appreciate you guys for being here. I don't know if I have anything else to say to you.